music at the beginning, you'll sit down, and... Now, you know I'm not one for gossip. No! But now that the tea is poured, what? I do have a little something that I'm not sure if you've heard. Perhaps I shouldn't say it, though it's really very good. Oh, dearest, you can tell. We'll say we learned it from a bird. Well, last week I was over at Miss Hagerstrom's for tea. She served a cake she said was her grandmother's recipe. But Astrid says she'd seen it just earlier that day, leaving with that very cake from Mortenson's Cafe. From Mortenson's Cafe. Pour the tea, spill the news, pour the tea. Well, how about Mrs. Nordegren, who spills her famous tonic? She claims she learned it far away. Now isn't that ironic? Well, I heard it from Sonia, who heard it straight from Steg, that all that's in those bottles is white vinegar and eggs. Ew! Vinegar and eggs! Turning the page. Pour the tea, spill the news, pour the tea. And then there's Mrs. Johnson, the teacher at the school. She just can't seem to make the children follow all the rules. Sometimes I see them running round or laughing in the sun. Now how could they be learning when they're all just having fun? They're all just having fun. Pour the tea, spill the news, pour the tea. I'd never think to gossip. It's simply impolite. But sometimes certain things must be confided. Aren't I right? You know I'm a quiet person, but it really must be said. One simply cannot keep these things inside of one's own head. What is it? Well, Henrika received an invitation yesterday to one of Mrs. Lindgren's magnificent soirees. But she says she cannot bring a single one of us along. Now, ladies, really, don't you think that's criminal and wrong? It's criminal and wrong. Well, you know that my Hank heard tell down that bank, that the, well, I'll do that again. Well, you know that my Hank heard tell down at the bank that the Ericsons lost thousands when that cargo shipment sank. And what of Anna Brorsen? Her uncle made a fortune trading furs and silks in Stockholm, and he left her quite a portion. Pour the tea, spill the news, pour the tea. And you know Mrs. Esterberg out on the edge of town. Her shutters are all crooked and her chimney's falling down. I sometimes hear her talking to her chickens as I pass. She keeps a messy garden and she never trims the grass. She never trims the grass. Now, what about that Pippi Longstocking who lives all on her own? Her father is a sea captain. He's never even home. She hasn't any manners or any sort of charm. Oh, she has a tiny monkey that she carries on her arm. She's the opposite of everything a young girl ought to be. Why, I wouldn't put it past her to invite herself to tea. And that's it.
I could edit out things like if you do a verse again, I could just go right to the next one.
I think that was good for a rough take.
Love it.
You know, just cut it at the end of the song.